What's going on, Jerome? It's a beautiful Thursday. Birds are chirping and stuff, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. So, announcement, preseason live streams this Saturday, the next Saturday after that. So, 3 preseason games. Talking junk on the live stream. Pay attention to watch the McCarthy dynasty, but also probably just cracking jokes, doing some Q&A. Also, during the month of August, all Venmos, Cash Apps, and Super Chats are going to be donated to every meal Twin Cities. We worked with them during the draft, and the Jeromes were amazing. They smashed our goal. Every meal fills in the gaps for kids here in the Twin Cities. Meals on the weekends, meals over the summer, and it's just one less thing that these kids need to worry about, and they do phenomenal work here. So our goal for August is 1509, 15 Dallas Turner 09. JJ McCarthy. Someone suggested, in honor of Kyrie, 31-31. If we top this goal, that would be the next one. That's what we're going to do, baby. That's right. We've got we'll fight in the shade. Maybe we've taken it too far. But, of course, ESPN, just throw a dart. And always disrespecting, always hating on it. Their disrespectful takes for the Vikings will blot out the sun. And Jefferson and company will fight in the shade. Although, I guess it was a Pyrrhic victory. Doesn't matter. Either way, led to a victory. But there we go. So Vikings had practice number 11 yesterday, practice number 12 today. The last of the regular practices open to the fans. Of course, Monday night, the 12th, has been from the reschedule from the 5th. So got that going on for us, which is nice. But this is so I feel like Mankato was a different beast. Mankato was like summer camp, right? And TCO, still fun. A little bit more corporate, but also a little bit more family friendly, a little bit more stuff going on. So you like it. I mean, just the afternoon practices. Also, I like that O'Connell seems to be catering the practices towards the fans. Just a little bit. Obviously, work is getting done, but I mean, fans love them, the one-on-one battles between wide receiver and cornerbacks, because everything is tangible. Like, you can see who wins, you can see who loses, and it's good, right? JJ McCarthy had a bit of an up-and-down day, had some great throws, had some ones that he wants back. But, of course, I ain't worried about it, because McCarthy definitely strikes me as someone where the moment isn't too big, and also he's an either you win or you learn sort of guy. I feel like that's a cliche that he would have like stenciled on his wall. Like, instead of, like your mom, live, laugh, love in the kitchen, he's got you either win or you learn. Now you can see why him and Harbaugh got along so well. It's funny, man. Yeah. But a great quote from yesterday. Will Raggett, Sports Illustrated. JJ McCarthy, at his press conference, when asked what he's most eager to see in preseason, in a preseason game, a vanilla defense, honestly. Brian Flores loves bringing that stank, that heat, the Limburger, the stinky cheddar in practice, and of course he's going to do that in game. I mean, Darnold, McCarthy, Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, whatever. Like, the offense is going to be fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but this defense, man, is going to be lights out fun. It's going to be great. Also, Darnold and Jefferson carved up practice yesterday. Talk about practice. And a lot of it was ones versus ones, so it's even more impressive. But Jefferson's just a cheat code. He really is. And that's why I'm sort of bullish on the prospects of Darnold this season, because at the end of the day, he's going to be protected. O'Connell's going to put him in good situations, and he's just got that nuclear weapon downfield in Jefferson. So my kids, they like playing rock, paper, scissors. But that wasn't enough. Like, 3 options wasn't enough. So they go rock, paper, scissors, nuke. And if you pick nuke, you automatically win. So they just nuke each other all the time. I feel like there's a lesson there. Mutually assured dinner time destruction. Rock, paper, scissors, nuke. Jefferson is nuke. He beats rock, he beats paper, beats scissors. That's all, man. That's all. Hashtag analysis. But Darnold. So Darnold probably isn't going to be the future here. Like, we know who the future is going to be. And he's proven that he's certainly going to be capable of doing that. Like, everything looks good, right? Meow. Of course, things change, but who knows? But Darnold's looking at going 10-7 as the Viking starter, getting tagged and traded to the Raiders, and signing a $50 million per year contract. Like 3 years, 150, 75 guaranteed, something like that. That's what's going to happen. So again, the best case scenario for the Vikings is both guys being good. right? One being good and one being bad, not ideal. Both being bad is terrible. But I don't think we have to worry about either of the last two. I think we're going to be good to go there. Also, so what was really fun is the receivers and DBs were getting after things, man. Like, obviously, super competitive, but I like that they didn't devolve into fisticuffs. Unlike there was 5 training camp fights yesterday. Isn't that crazy? And also, like, DK Metcalf trying to swing a helmet at a Seahawks DB. Not great. But Addison showing up and showing out as well. So Addison and Caleb Evans had some really feisty, like uber competitive reps yesterday. It was really awesome to see. Plus, Caleb quietly has strung together a couple of really nice practices, and which is good because, I mean, they may be relying on him as that third corner with Byron Murphy and Shaq Griffin. So TBD there. And that's what they wanted him to do last year, except they had to bench him 17,000 times. But, he's been working, and I respect that. And plus, this is a situation like, hey, if you're Caleb Evans and you go up against Jordan Addison every single practice, and Byron Murphy, you go up against Justin Jefferson every single day, it's only going to make you better, and vice versa, man. So it's good to see there. Also, this is what's frustrating about Addison and his off the field stuff is that he is so talented. Like, he is so damn good, and you can just tell he loves the game. Maybe he loves everything that comes along with the game too, but he's just so damn good. Like, he would be a lot of other teams' wide receiver 1. I truly believe that. Also, speaking of DBs, so me and Bobby McCain had a great PBU. Also, he had an interception in 7-on-7. Jumping Josh Matelis has been all over the freaking place at training camp. Of course, that's his MO. He really is like the Uno draw four wild of the Flores defense. He's all over the place. And also, at his presser earlier this week, Flores joked that he might put Matelis at nose tackle in a certain package. I wouldn't put it past him. I feel like he might just do it just to do it. Just to say, he did it my way. But Matelis flying around, making plays, just looking really, really damn good, man. Super excited about it. Also, speaking of excited, so maybe the play of the day was from A.J. Green III, the other one. All right, so cornerback rocking 2.8, which, I don't know, when did Adrian get so good at backpedaling? But A.J. Green got a great press at Tristan Jackson on the line and then had a one-handed interception. The DBs were fired up, and it's kind of fun, man, where it breaks down. Don't want to say, like, clicks negatively, but the position groups are obviously competitive with each other, like wide receiver, cornerback, O-line, D-line, linebackers, running backs, all that stuff to a degree, but it's fun, man. It's what makes it fun because obviously we're on the same team, but also I want my position group, my section, to do a little bit better than yours. Speaking of doing better, so DAndre Thomas is a guy that I'm rooting for. Loved him at NC State. Think he's a great punt returner, although they're not giving him the time of day there. Could be a slot machine receiver as well. And we put him on our list of fallers, risers and fallers at training camp because he had a really good OTA session, really good mandatory minicamp, but just sort of been stagnant in the wide receiver groups, not really making a ton of splash plays, but then he went out and had the best practice. Maybe of any receiver not named Justin Jefferson or Jordan Addison. So DAndre Thomas had a couple great touchdown grabs, one-handed as well. So maybe that's what it takes because that's exactly what happened with Slinging Sam Darnold is that we pissed a moan last week about him needing to step up. It's like, what's he going to do? And then he has the best 4 practices of his freaking life. That's what we're going to do from now on. Like, hey, JJ McCarthy, step it up or you're going to be a bust. Or, hey, maybe those stupid Christian Ponder 2.0 comparisons are correct. That should do it. But anyways, rooting for the pride of NC State there, Thomas. There you go. Purple Suasion put this out there. Darren Doogie Wolfson is talking on Score North. If the Vikings feel comfortable enough with Sam Darnold and J.J. McCarthy at quarterback, the Vikings could look to trade Nick Mullens. This is what Doogie said, quote, but I'm starting to think more and more about trading Nick Mullens. If you can recoup, you're down draft picks in 25. If you can recoup, even if it's a 7th-round pick or conditional, maybe it turns into a 6, whatever it is, a late day 3 pick, that it does make sense to make that move to trade Nick Mullens. Now, obviously, it comes down to if they feel comfortable enough with J.J. McCarthy as quarterback too. I think we are at that point right now. So Nick Mullens, even though you like him as a veteran backup, and he was Well, when he wasn't throwing the ball to the other team, he was really good last year operating the offense. So that's what's the bonus of Nick Mullens, where you have backups who can't do ish with the offense, right? You're just going to hand the ball off and dink and dunk it a little bit. Nick Mullens is like, F you. I'm throwing the ball downfield and someone's catching it. It might be Jefferson. It might not be. Which I kind of like, because the Vikings, towards the end of last year, with their slim playoff chances, they definitely needed high variance, and Nick Mullens, that's his middle name, Nick High Variance Mullens. And the Vikings, like I said, there could be ways that the Vikings could look to get a little bit of draft capital day 3. Now, they're projected to have that third at least in terms of comp picks from this last free agency cycle. They kept their 1, which is good. But right now they're down 2, 3, 4, and a 6th. They do have an extra 5th from the Browns, and they do have they swapped out a 7th round pick. So there you go. But either way, if the Vikings can get a 6 for Nick Mullens, that'd be fantastic, because it could be a spot where the teams are just waiting for the Vikings to cut Mullens, but then he goes through the waiver system, and it could be anyone calls dibs. Now, if the Niners or the Raiders want him, which could make some sense, the Raiders quarterback competition right now, Gardner Minshew, I like him a lot. He ain't it. Aiden O'Connell is not it either. Maybe Mullens actually gets in the preseason game on Saturday a little bit and shows up and shows out. Maybe he heads back to the Raiders, new administration, who knows. But the one that makes the most sense is back to San Francisco. So Mullens came into the league out of Southern Miss and was raised by Kyle Shanahan and company his last couple seasons in San Francisco. And I think that behind Brock Purdy, it's not great, because Josh Dobbs, the passionate, hasn't looked great so far in training camp, according to the Niners beat writers. Brandon Allen, the veteran, not so much. Tanner Mordecai, not so much. So Mullens as the backup quarterback, again, very similar system with Kevin O'Connell and Kyle Shanahan. Of course, Mullens has been with Shanahan before. That makes a ton of sense. In fact, let's up that draft capital, 5th. I mean, you're probably going to get more in the Brandon Ayuk trade, so we'll just take some of that. That's it, man. That's it. Also, that's it. So, I mean, the football season hasn't even started, but of course we're looking towards mock drafts, blah, blah, blah. So the 33rd team, 2025 NFL mock draft. I don't know who went picks 1 through 8. Doesn't matter, but the Vikings are at 9. So apparently they trade up from 32 to 9. And Travis Hunter. So Travis Hunter is a stud. All right, so think what you want of Dion and Shador and whatnot, but Travis Hunter is legit, right? And yeah, he's a two-way player. I honestly think that he would be a better receiver at the NFL level than a cornerback. I think cornerback, he'd be good. I think receiver, he would have a chance to be great. But of course, I mean, I believe in Jalen Speedy Naylor, but Travis, I don't think he's going to be a two-way player in the NFL. Like maybe, a sprinkle plays here or there on the other side of the ball, but a true two-way player, not going to happen. No, like he's a well-conditioned athlete. Don't get me wrong, but his body won't be able to put up the attrition of like 120 snaps a game. It's not going to happen, right? But Hunter, maybe he comes in and is wide receiver 3. I mean, Jefferson, Addison, Hunter, sick. Or of course the Vikings do have some quarterback needs, so maybe they start him there. Who knows, man? But Vikings obviously aren't going to be drafting 9. No problem, man. Again, everyone wants to hate, but we believe. That's right, baby. But that's it. Vikings news dump for this beautiful Thursday. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.